What's up, everyone? This is Roman with Hydra Painting, and right here is an Ork Stormboy that I'm gonna get to work on. So, got the Iron Warriors base, do a kind of half-assed dry brush, not really being too careful or really caring about like how much paint is on the brush with this dry brush. Just lazily getting all the metal bits in with Iron Warriors using like a really crappy brush. So hitting all the metal parts, don't really care again if like a traditional dry brush is like you use the dry brush palette that I have back there, or like a napkin, and you just make sure that all the paint's off of it, or most of it, but I really didn't care. Just wanted to do it as quick as possible because this is, to me, a quick and easy orc. Next, I do kind of the same thing, half-ass dry brush with iron hand steel, and I get that all over. Just making sure not to go too hard on it because I want the darker metal for my last Iron Hands too, or Iron Warriors. So many freaking irons. Next is Deneb Stone. I put Deneb Stone on everything, and Deneb Stone is a super old foundation paint back in the day when Citadel came out with this, and this is like my favorite paint, and I'll be really sad when it goes away. It's just like a really nice brownish gray, and I use it to kind of just go over all of the non-metal parts, except for like the wiring or any like doodads on the model. So pants, leather, shoes, any of the straps. It's a nice base, and I use it for mostly the uniform, and then that paint builds up with a lot of the other fabrics on there. Sorry about like my weird wonky camera angles. I'm still trying to like work on how to paint with the camera like right in my workspace. Usually I'm like a really nasty like painter where I like move around like crazy. So, anyways, Mornfang Brown now being used. This paint's for the straps. So, Stormboyz have this giant rocket pack on the back, and it's like being held down by a bunch of straps. So all these straps are a nice little leathery color, Mornfang Brown. I like it. It's nice. It's like a really rich brown. Got to make sure that all of the Mornfang Brown gets into the like little crevices of these straps. Like there's straps underneath the armpits, underneath the legs. Like there's straps everywhere. So just want to make sure I get that. I'm good to go with all the straps. Next, I'm hitting the model with Balthazar Gold. This is like a coppery color, coppery gold color. And again, sorry about my crappy camera angles, but I'm hitting some metal bits with this color just to kind of, uh, separate from all the like just plain old metal steel color. So the choppa handle is Balthazar Gold. These like little straps, metal straps on the rocket pack, I'm hitting it with some Balthazar Gold. I really like Balthazar Gold. It's nice. It's a really cool color. My pot right now, I think it's a little old, or maybe I'm not shaking it enough, but it's more reddish. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but I mean, it still looks all right. So just hitting up like these little like raised parts, this little collar, like a brass collar on top of the rocket, this spike at the end. Um, just getting a decent layer on that. And it's looking pretty good so far. I think right now I'm just cleaning up some areas that I may have painted over. And now I hit the entire model, I believe, with a Nolan Oil shade. Yep. So I hit the whole model with this shade. The Deneb Stone, the straps, the rocket pack, everything. The whole model is baked in this because I want to do a quick and easy job. I don't want to wait for a bunch of other shades. Why not just shade the entire model one color, the majority of the model one color? These shades take forever to dry up anyway, so might as well just hit most of them. So that's how it looks. Totally forgot about the gloves. The gloves were Mechanicus gray and then hit it with a wash. So it's looking pretty neat right now. Got some nice depth in the straps and in the uniform. So next, I believe I'll be hitting the model with some blues because I am a Deathskull and I need some blue on these boys. So blue goes on some of the metal bits, the shoulder pads, some of the little rocket fins. I'm starting off with a McCrag blue. Afterwards, I'll be hitting it with a little lighter blue I believe the lighter blue is Signar blue, which is a P3 paint, so I'll have that out in a bit. But I'm just getting, again, the shoulder pads, I think this little bit on the gun, getting a nice blue on there, and then the P3 Signar blue, which is my favorite blue. All my orcs are rocking this blue. It's a really nice solid blue. It's like just that perfect, like not baby blue, but not like blue. I don't know how to describe it, but it's one of my favorite paints, and I think it looks fantastic. So after I use the P3 blue, I hit up with some line highlights with a what is it called? Balthazar? No, Baroth blue. There we go. So just doing some little highlights on the shoulder pads and the fins, just to make it pop more, using the side of my brush for that mostly. Then afterwards, I hit these like little side rocket packs with some red to kind of just make the model, the rocket pack at least, just to kind of make it pop with more color, so it's not just like two colors, dominant. Next, I try out Orc Skin. So I hit the model with Castellan Green, and this is a dark camo-y looking green. Hitting all of the fleshy parts, arms on this model, the head, the little fingertips at the end of the glove. Orcs love their fingerless gloves. They gotta just do the jazz hand thing. But sorry, getting carried away here. But yeah, just hitting hitting the whole orky greenness on there. So again, sorry. I'm gonna keep apologizing for me being terrible with showing you guys how I'm painting this model here. But it's a quick and easy model for me at least. So hitting it with all this green. Afterwards, clean up a bit, and then I will hit the model up with Auric Flesh. This is like a paint that came out not too long ago, and I really like it. I started using it as the next layer for all of my green orcs, and I'm hitting just the top bits of the muscles and the fingers, the fingertips, not going into the crevices because I go for mostly maybe a cartoony look. A lot of people describe it as like a cartoony kind of shading or layers. I don't even know how to describe it, but I just kind of hit those raised edges of the muscles while leaving the dark edges, and then afterwards I shade with a green. So here I am getting the head. This head is I really like the head of this model. The whole Stormboy kit's pretty cool, but this like orc head where he has like the Bane mask is probably like the coolest orc head there is out there. So afterwards, I believe I whip out the green shade and I just hit the whole model. Not getting those dark recesses and just letting that green shade go in there even more to make it super dark. Just kind of brings up the whole model, and it tones down that like super bright Auric Flesh too. So once I hit the model with that Bealtan green shade, I need to let it dry, so I hit some points with some orange on top of the rockets to just make it pop a little more. And let's see, what else do I do here? I go over with some weird kind of half dry brush, half layer. I believe it's the the Wraithbone base, and I kind of just go over the fur a little bit. So he has like fur around his like collar on his bomber jacket, and then some on his boots. So I just do like a half-ass pass, making sure that I don't get into like the little crevices of the fur. And then afterwards, I hit that with a Devlin Mud. Is that what it's called? No, dude, this is Agrax Earthshade. So I hit that with an Agrax Earthshade to just kind of, make it darker. So yeah, I'm using right now. I'm using a really like dry brush metal, like a really bright metal. I forget what it's called, but I grab an artist opus brush and I was just dry brushing some lighter bits on the the steel colors. So it's getting there. Decide to hit the model with some yellow. Sorry you can't see because again I am terrible and I just completely get in the zone. But the metal bits, it's like mostly just the wiring that goes from like the rocket pack to like the center, like chest metal piece. And then now I get back onto the skin because the green wash is dried. I hit the top layers of the muscle with Scarsnick green. So just getting the tippy tips of the muscles, and it really makes the whole muscle pop. I think the whole orc skin, just getting that like really crazy like um, depth. And again, sorry if you can't see it that well. Again, everything's super terrible. Still working on all my stuff. After I do the Scar Snake Green, the last little like highlight layer is this like really pale green, Nurgling green, which I hit, just on the tippy tips of the Scar Snake Green. Kind of complicated, maybe over too complicated, but it just makes the skin pop really, really well. And that's just how I paint my orc skin. So now I'm just doing some little tiny highlights on the wiring. That's Uriel yellow, I believe. And then I think this is the Agrex Earthshade wash on all like the fur parts of the model, so like the end of his boots and the collar. Fixing up some stuff on his Shuda. I use a contrast paste Vulpus Pink to kind of get this like scar going on his head, just to give it like some interesting depth. And then I wash the wire with Cassandra yellow, something like that. And afterwards, I work on the base. I believe that's it for the model. Dry brush, a brown. I believe this was Steel Legion drab. And then afterwards, it's a Wraithbone dry brush on top. Just the super simple basing. Don't do anything too crazy. Paint the little skull, then I wash it, just to give it that extra depth. Then I give the model a good rim job with Abaddon black. Make sure you gotta clean your ribs. You can't have dirty rims. You gotta clean them, all right? No dirty rims here. Right now, I think I put also Agrex Earthshade on his like nails, his talons, and then I put a little pink tuff afterwards, and that's it. That is my Stormboy. So here he is in all his glory. My Bane Stormboy. Got the rocket pack, ready to go. It's looking fly. It took me about a little less than an hour, maybe. I think it took around like 45 minutes to get this whole model done. So this to me is a relatively quick paint job. It's like tabletop standard in my eyes. And, I enjoy these models. Like the Stormboy models, they're like one of the best looking models in the whole Orc line. Lots of character, lots of cool little bits. They look dynamic. I mean, this guy looks like he's launching up in the air, holding his pistol right to his side. So, a really big fan of these models, and they're going to help me play the new GT game because you got to have some action monkeys that come in. So, they're not going to be doing a lot of killing. They're going to be just doing a lot more actions. Which is sad because as an orc player, you always want to see your boys go in and just start hammering shit. But yeah, he's just flying around. Super happy with the paint job. Hopefully this guide wasn't too complicated to follow. Comments, criticisms, all that stuff. Definitely going to help me a lot. Still just flying around. And this is the squad as a whole. I'm using Gamer Grass Tufts, mix of blue and some like neon pink. Did a little fun things with the rocket packs, lots of yellows and oranges and little bits of white. Again, love these models. I think they're fantastic. Just wanted to make them super cool looking, even though they'll probably like do an action and then just get like killed in the following turns. I don't care, man. They just look dope. And you always want your models to look good. So this dude, I love the knob. Just gave him like all the rockets because he's a bigger dude, and gave him that claw coming up. This one's probably my favorite Stormboy. I call him Mr. Smiley because he's got some nice teeth. And then look, he's got a little cute rocket. He's got a little cute Smiley on the rocket pack. So gotta love that. He's there dropping some grenades. So he's my favorite Stormboy out of the group. And yeah, that's them all together. Probably pick up another unit or two. Just kind of seeing, because I want to play more GT games. I want to start hitting the tournament scene, so got to be playing around with all of my options here. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. helps the channel out a lot. Leave a comment. If you want me to hit up so many things or any types of other content reviews, or I might practically try to do it all. So if you can help me out with that, that'd be super awesome. I appreciate all your help getting the channel growing. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, hopefully coming out soon. So appreciate ya. This is Roman, Hydra Painting. Bye.